Hi, everyone. Well, I have this live all set up, and I even encouraged you to get yourself a reminder for the live. And then I decided to see if I could refresh it to see if I could see how many people were waiting for me to go live. And then I lost that particular thing. So I'm still learning the puts and takes from YouTube. So hopefully I've got some live viewers now. Maybe you're finding the actual live session rather than the one I had scheduled for 1 o'clock Pacific Arizona time. Today's subject is perfection's overrated. Boy, I have to believe in that one because I'm far from perfect, especially when I'm learning something new. But in terms of nutrition, I want to be talking about perfection's overrated when it comes to diet. But let's first define the term diet. All right, we often think of diet as synonymous with weight loss diet or maybe a diet that manages some existing disease. Diet is simply the pattern of food intake. It's what happens over time. And when it comes to diet, it's what we do 80 to 90% of the time that matters. That means that there is room in our daily patterns and our weekly patterns and our monthly patterns for foods that are sometimes foods, that are treats, that are lower in nutrient density than other foods. But our focus should primarily be on doing three things. Number one is reduce our intake of ultra-processed foods. Those are foods that have low nutrient density. They contain ingredients that you actually can't find in a market. So you couldn't make this product if you wanted to, if you had the time and the desire and the skill to make it, you couldn't because you couldn't find the ingredients. So you want to minimize your intake of those because those unrecognizable ingredients have some potential harm. It doesn't mean you're never going to have them. It just means that they're not going to be the core of your diet and they're truly treats. The second thing I encourage you to do is increase your intake of vegetables. Most people don't eat enough vegetables, and we should be looking for 5 to 6 servings of vegetables a day. A serving is generally a half a cup. So that means we're looking for 2.5 to 3 cups of veggies every day. Well, what if you don't make it? Perfection's overrated. Do the best you can, but also remember that all veggies count. It's not just the veggies that are a side dish or the salad that you prepare, but it's also sauces. So marinara sauce and salsas like Mexican salsa made with onions and chilies and tomatoes. Those are also counting toward your vegetables. And carrots and onions and celery that are in soup, stews, and casseroles, they count too. So all the vegetables in your diet count. Eat more of them. Eat a greater variety of them. Try to focus on getting the color wheel of vegetables. That means dark green, orange, red, purple. And the 5th color category is pale, meaning there's not an intensity of color. Things like onions and mushrooms and cauliflower and celery. All of these things are very nutrient dense, and the greater the variety of color you can have, the better. But you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to eat the color wheel every single day. But is it ideal? Sure. And then the third thing you can do is increase your intake of plant protein. And that means to reduce your intake of animal protein. So maybe cut back on beef and substitute some mushrooms in a dish. Doesn't mean you have to eliminate it altogether. Or perhaps you have one meal a day that's vegetarian. So you have a meal that's made up of beans and whole grains and vegetables. And maybe we throw some soy protein in there in the form of edamame. It all works. Those three things can help improve your overall diet. So, do you have to be perfect? No. What does it take to create new habits? Well, when I was first in my management career, I took a class on time management, and we were taught that it took 21 days to create a new habit. So, right now, I want you to think of your own healthy habits. Just take a minute, maybe while you're watching this video or afterwards, and write down 5 healthy habits that you have. So, examples: I brush my teeth twice a day, after breakfast and after dinner. That's a healthy habit. I focus on getting adequate and restful sleep. That means going to bed pretty much the same time every night and getting up about the same time every morning. I enjoy a glass of red wine with dinner. I take a walk most days. And I work at neutralizing stress. So those are 5 healthy habits, and they're pretty much daily habits. We don't develop these habits unless we have a motivation to do so. So if you're trying to develop a new healthy habit, you need to decide what is motivating you. What is your intent in doing this new habit? Don't try to do everything at once. Pick something and then create a habit out of it. If you're trying to reduce your intake of ultra processed foods, consider, when do you eat them? Are these things that you have as snacks after dinner when you're not hungry? And has this become a habit, but a not so healthy one? What could you do to change that habit? Could you substitute something? Or could you change your behavior so you're not associating an activity with snacking? It's your choice. You don't have to be perfect, but the more you can do to make your diet based on whole foods that are minimally processed, the healthier you are going to be. So I'm seeing that it is 8 minutes past the hour. I don't know that I have any live viewers, and I'm sure that's because I messed up and didn't get live with the one I had scheduled, but I wanted to go on time. So I'm going to end this session, and I'm hoping that people will watch it. And I'm also going to see if I can't go back and find my other live stream and see if I can't just start it and say hello to people who might have tried to go with the one that was posted. So have a happy day. Have a great week. And I will be live on Wednesday Wellness next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific and Arizona time.